What the deal, huh? Everybody, I'm off for death. You can't run, can't hide. On your mark for death. I was born to...
Hello, I'm Michelle, this is Uncovered, and today we're at the Beach Road Hotel for the Rolling Balls Tour featuring Vents and DJ Adfu. How are you?
Good, thank you. How you doing?
Good, thanks. So, is this your first time in Sydney?
No, I think it's, is it your first?
No, we've done shows before in Sydney, but it hasn't been like, this is like the second Vents headline gig in Sydney. Yeah,
Okay.
like it's the first for like, what, 4 years or something?
Yeah, it may as well be the first gig we've ever done it, but yeah.
All right, so Vents, you've been around quite a while, and we know you had your first album come out in 2007,
Yep.
yeah, with Hard to Kill. So, what took you so long? Where have you been?
I think, yeah, I've been trying to work that out actually. I think it just, yeah, I was kind of depressed for a while, to be honest, but yeah, yeah, you know, just didn't, I stopped enjoying it. I think maybe like the industry side of things might have ruined it for me a bit, sucked a bit of the fun out of it, and it took a while to, you know, get back on track, but yeah, we're good now, so, and we're sort of started working on the next one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, the 2007 album was actually under Obese, but you know, I realised that this one's actually not under Obese Records. You're under, you know, a new record label. So, what was actually behind the decision to change record labels for this new album?
Honestly, I had a really good time on Obese, and they were great, and they really did a lot for me,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, I wouldn't change anything really. Like I really, and you know, it's just the industry. It's a business. It's about a quid, and you know, it's nothing. Yeah.
And basically, like the new label Golden Era is like, we're all really close friends, you know. So like when they came up with the idea of coming up with the label, it's like, of course that's where we're headed, you know.
Yeah.
They're the people we hang around with every day. It's not really like, with them, it's not really it's more like friendship rather than business. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that's I think that's what sort of inspired like myself and Joe especially to continue making more and more music. Like,
Yeah, the Hilltop Hoods are on this album as well. I know, yeah. So Marked for Death.
Yep.
I did notice that you released it on Friday the 13th, and it's called Marked for Death. So yeah, what's that about? Was that a coincidence,
that was a
or
complete and utter
really?
coincidence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's just where we fit in on the schedule.
Right.
Administrative coincidence.
So no funny business going on.
No, but
Okay.
But yeah.
So how would you describe the sound for this album? I know that you DJ Adfu, you actually mix the album, you do all the DJing for the album. How would you describe the sound of Marked for Death?
Yeah, well, I've known Charles for probably over 10 years now, and we met when we were like 17, 18 years old, and we've been making music together that whole time. So we sort of, I think we just sort of eventually worked out like a sound that clicks, and it's heavy, loud, thumping, you know, beats, and me screaming at you, you know, and and yeah. So that's how I would describe it. Just loud, sort of, you know, music that you can feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Headbanging music.
Yeah.
Cool. So your lyrics have been described as sort of hardcore consciousness. So where do you find inspiration to write your songs?
Yeah, everything. I mean, like, I spend like a lot of time on my lyrics. You know, I don't think technically I'm probably not like the quickest rapper, or, you know, but I really value, you know, my lyrics, and I think like I write pretty good lyrics, but
Oh yeah, we think so too.
yeah, cheers. And yeah, just everything, you know, it's really like late night thoughts. I usually start writing, you know, after midnight, and so maybe that shows in the music. But yeah, I mean, everything, you know, I haven't been reading as much lately because we've been so busy, but you know, I at least used to spend quite a bit of time in the books. And
so now that you've toured Australia and you've been to different places like Canberra, you're going to Perth, Sydney, do you have any particular favourite places you like to go?
I like Broome, I like Byron Bay, I like you know, the smaller places where, you know, people are much more relaxed. They don't have that sort of that you can tell that their sense of alienation is not as pronounced, you know, as in the cities where everybody's really like, you know, abrasive sort of. But in those towns, you know, it's like, especially like Byron Bay, for example, you know, nobody wears helmets, and, you know, you smoke a joint on the beach and the cops don't really bother you. And like,
very laid
you know,
back.
nobody
That
speeds.
sounds like Adelaide.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about anybody running over. It's just, I like those places, you know. So.
Okay, awesome. So who are you listening to right now? Because I know that you kind of, when you started out in hip hop, you were listening to Rakim,
Yeah.
Public Enemy. Who are you listening to right now?
Well, you know, we've been doing a lot of driving, so we've just, I mean, our iPods is pretty much thrash. That's our first plan, is to go home and reload. But everything, like, really, let me see, hip hop really at the moment, non-stop, just hip hop. And I mean, what were we listening to? G-Rap and
There's some G-Rap, Big Daddy Kane,
Jedi Mind Tricks,
Jedi Mind, yeah.
Ill Bill,
Action Bronson album.
Action Bronson. Yeah, you
Smith
know.
and Wesson, yeah.
Smith and Wesson, yeah.
Smash it.
Well, like we're real pretty
Hip-hop
pretty
heads.
big
Yeah.
hip-hop heads,
Also a bit of Kasabian along the way. Yeah. Get a bit into that psychedelic. Yeah, he's not really that into it, but I'll force it on the stereo.
So who are you looking to work with in the future? Who would be your ideal collaboration? Who would it be with? So DJ Adfu, I know you mixed this album, Mark for Death.
Yeah.
When you're mixing it, are you actually visualizing and picturing in your mind what it's going to sound like live, or what's your
Not really what it's going to sound like live. More of like when I listen to an unmixed track, I sort of have in my head what I want it to sound like, and then I basically mix to like the picture in my head type thing. So like if like, you know, for some breakdowns, like Where's God Now, for an example, like Where's God Now, the track, at the end there was like a repeat of two hooks, and I just wanted to do something with like the first one because it repeated, you know, and just like maybe a bit of distortion, turn it down, like just, you know, sort of screw around with it a little bit until you get that right sound. And then just basically just try different things, different plugins, different like I mixed a couple of tracks using like live reverb as well.
Yeah, so I was going to ask exactly what software do you use to mix your
I use everything. I use like mix everything in Logic, and with just like heaps of plugins and stuff, all different ones, and I'll try. I've been trying to use some live reverb techniques. So like back in the echo chamber days, where they just had like some speakers in a room and they stick a mic in there and actually play the recorded sound into the hall. So different techniques. I'm real fascinated by that. So anything that's challenging.
I can sense that you're both really passionate about hip hop and about creating good music, about the social message. So what advice would you give to the new cats coming up? So DJs, sound engineers, rappers. What advice would you give to them in making their music?
But
and sort of the love. You sort of have to love it, you know, and don't be afraid to try new things, you know, like I mean, what's the worst that could, if you try something and it doesn't work, like what's the worst that could happen? You know, you just know that it's not going to work, you know. So that, I mean, the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it, and the more you have your eyes open and open mind to it, and not just like to make hip hop, but actually make music. You know what I mean? Like, it's just I mean, making music is an expression, you know what I mean? Like, and that's
good. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Uncovered.
Thank you. Cheers.
And we look forward to more projects with you, DJ Adfu and Vents. I'm sure it's going to be a really, really good show. So make sure you check out the new album called Marked for Death, Golden Era Records. And anything final you want to say to your fans?
Thanks for the support. We really, really, really appreciate it. And
big up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers. Yo, what's up? This is Vents.
And this is Adfu. What's the deal?
We are Marked for Death, and you're watching Uncovered.
Peace.
What the deal, Everybody, I'm off for death. You can't rhyme, can't hide. When you're marked for death. I was born to grow old, cause I'm marked for death. Put a target on your head, cause you're marked for death. What the deal? Man, woman, child. I'm off for death. I'm on a one-way street straight. You're marked for death. Lifetime trying to forget that